Welcome to the Snowblind Fractal. Our first objective will be to melt the ice wall blocking our path. To do so, we need to keep the bonfire in front of us alive. On your special action key, you now have a torch to light the fire initially, and if it goes out, make sure to light it as you run in. To keep it alive, we have to throw firewood onto the bonfire. The firewood spawns all over this area, so I recommend that you dedicate a few people to mine the firewood on their own. The rest of your party will then be dealing with the ice elementals who are trying to rush in and light out the bonfire. Continuously through the encounter, these ice elementals will spawn on the edges of the arena. As they spawn, they will try to rush the bonfire. If they reach it, they will explode and scatter water all over the bonfire, taking away a good part of the bonfire's health. To keep the elementals in check, be sure to equip useful crowd control skills. On the master tier, I highly recommend the use of Immobilize, Chill, or Cripple, as this will slow down the fast-moving ice elementals, making it easier for you to cleave them down. The additional wolves and the Sons of Svanir that spawn all over the arena are quite easily avoided by simply kiting them around and peripherally hitting them, as they are rather squishy, slow, and don't deal too much damage on their own. However, in case of emergency, they are also easily cleaved down, since most of them are simply regular mobs. The surrounding environment will apply frostbite to you, which damages you and increases in intensity the more stacks you receive. To avoid this, be sure to catch warmth from the fire occasionally. Once the ice wall is down, be sure to gather around the fire to get rid of any excessive frostbite. The elemental source is the source of the environmental frostbite, so in order to progress, we need to kill it. For this fight, it is highly recommended to bring professions who can provide reflect. But before even engaging or attacking the actual boss, we're going to light all 5 small bonfires around the elemental and throw extra firewood on all of them, since ideally we want these to be at maximum health. For every bonfire we light, the elemental will take increased damage, and the longer we can make them stay lit, the longer we may deal damage to the elemental. As all 5 are lit, the party engages it simultaneously. This is because every time we take off 25% of the elemental's health, it will attempt to phase. It does so by shooting out 5 projectiles towards each bonfire. If these projectiles hit, it takes off a good bit of health from the fire, and if all 5 are turned off, a snowstorm will appear and teleport all players away from the elemental, forcing you to relight all bonfires again. So, in order to keep the elemental from phasing altogether, it is absolutely paramount that you make sure to have reflex in the form of feedback, a Ventari tablet, or walls of reflection surrounding the ice elemental at every 25% health marker to stop at least a few of its projectiles from hitting the bonfires. If your party can maintain close to permanent reflect uptime, the elemental will never phase. As the elemental dies, the source of your frostbite is gone and you'll no longer have to worry about lighting fires. To pass the dark forest, the easiest method is to simply blast stealth at the bridge and run along the right hand wall. Make sure you keep up stealth and swiftness to avoid the mobs entirely. If you have a thief in your party, it may be favorable to blast stealth a second time at the halfway mark to make sure all party members are safe. If your group is having trouble, however, just know that once one party member makes it to the cave, the rest can simply decide to die and they will respawn at the cave checkpoint. For the shaman, we are going to blast might and fury for the party before going in. Once inside, periodically ice crystals will spawn in all 4 corners of the arena. As long as these are alive, they will apply frostbite to the entire party. Killing them fast will always be your main priority throughout this fight. The shaman himself has a few attacks that we need to be mindful of. Firstly, and most dangerously, he will breathe an icy breath out in front of himself. If hit, you will get more and more frost stacks. Too many stacks will freeze you within an ice block. If targeted, move straight out of the melee stack so you don't compromise your party or get hit yourself. For the second attack, he will raise his arms over his head and summon ice spikes in a circle around or in a cone in front of him, which hit the ground shortly after. Every 25%, the shaman will teleport to safety and summon an ice-brewed effigy in his stead. All the while, ice spikes drop down from the ceiling, dealing massive damage if hit. These ice spikes will stop and the shaman will teleport back as soon as the effigy is killed, so speed is key. As it dies, the ice crystals respawn alongside the shaman. Be sure to take care of the ice crystals first. The effigy has a single attack to mind, except his auto attacks. Occasionally, it will spin around itself and form a large AoE circle. As it slams the ground, it will instantly freeze anyone inside the AoE. If your damage is high, you might kill it before it executes the attack, but I'd rather recommend that you hold out on your crowd control skills till that attack and then break its break bar immediately. As the shaman teleports back after the 50% health mark, so too will an ice-brewed atrocity. As long as this atrocity is alive, it will also apply a rhyme shield to the shaman, which decreases incoming damage by 10% for each stack. So make sure you kill the atrocity as fast as possible. At the 25% health mark, the shaman will transform into a bear, which deals heavy melee damage and will pounce on players, knocking them down. At the same time, both the ice crystals as well as the effigy will respawn. This time, the effigy will also be applying a rhyme shield to the shaman, so make sure you take care of it right after the ice crystals. Once the effigy is down, the shaman can be slain. Make sure you keep his break bar broken as often as possible, as this will allow for some breathing room and will let you deal increased damage. And that is how to complete the Master Tier Snowblind Fractal. Enjoy your loot. Until next time, I will see you in the mists.